What is up, everybody? Jordan here with the deck box, coming back to you tonight with actually our first Ultra Prism PTCGO video. I'm super excited for the set. I have been on PTCGO a little bit today, trying to get as many of the cards as I can from the set to make sure that I can get to these profiles for you guys. I am happy to say I was able to get my Glaceons for the Glaceon Decidueye list. I wanted this to be the first one that I tackled because it was a very popular video whenever we released the profile. I was originally going to re-release the list in a different formatted video just to be a little more cleaned up, but we were so close to the set release, I just decided to wait and do this the day that the set came out. So that is why I'm doing it this way. But this was the Glaceon Decidueye list. I had people requesting matches be shown with it because we're the only ones on YouTube with this deck list out. No one else is playing Glaceon Decidueye. I still don't know why. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Leafeon is just not good. And after some testing with it, I honestly don't think Leafeon's that great with Decidueye like everyone originally thought. I will still be testing it out just to make sure I'm not missing something, but to me, Glaceon is the better option. Glaceon hits hard, it shuts down abilities, it snipes, it does all these crazy things. So to me, it is definitely the better option. So we're going to hop into this list. I have tweaked it a little bit since our original release, but I will leave a link right up at the top here. You can click on it and go back and check that list out. I've made a couple tweaks, just in my opinion, to make it more consistent for us to hit the cards we need to hit. So starting off, we are playing a 4-3 Glaceon list. And something to note is we are playing the Energy Evolution Eevee. That is the most important thing to notice. You have to play the Energy Evolution Eevee to make this deck viable. To make pretty much any Evolution deck viable, you want to use the Energy Evolution Eevee. You're able to attach a basic energy, and whatever type that energy is, you evolve straight up into the respective evolution. So make sure to have that one. This was one tweak I made. Originally, we did run only 3 Eevee. And looking at it today, it just didn't make sense to only have 3 whenever your prime starter that you want is your Eevee. So I figured bump it to 4, make it as consistent as possible, and it has worked much better. Then we have 3 Glaceon GX. This is a new card from the Ultra Prism set. It's a stage 1 Pokemon with 200 HP. It's a water Pokemon. The main thing we're looking at is the ability, Freezing Gaze. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX in play, in their hand and in their discard pile, have no abilities except for Freezing Gaze. This is an insanely good GX attack, or sorry, not GX attack, just ability. Because, I mean, we have Garbodor, it shuts down all abilities, and that's great, but there are times where we don't want to shut down all abilities, such as with Decidueye. We want Decidueye's abilities up and running, but if we can shut down our opponent's abilities, then that's just even better. And the great thing is with Energy Evolution, you can have this turn 1, and you can shut down your opponent's Tapu Lele's turn 1. So they can't get their Brigette or Sycamore, whatever they want to get. They can't get it using their Lele. They have to rely on their draws. So it makes it a really strong card in this deck. The next part of it, Frost Bullet, for a water and a DCE, is stacked as 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, 90 to the active. So a really great sniping attack, 120 with a choice band, of course, it 2-shots any GX or EX, and it sets up some nice knockouts on the bench. So there's 2 parts of it, or 3 parts. You speed past evolution, you have this awesome ability that shuts down other opponents' abilities, and you have sniping. The last part has heavy hitting. For the same cost as Frost Bullet, you have Polar Spear GX. This attack does 50 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon, which is just insane. The card on its own is good with that GX attack because you're able to snipe for 30, but what's even better is pairing it with Decidueye. Decidueye does 2 Feather Arrows. You can do this all in one turn. 2 Feather Arrows, and then Polar Spear is hitting for 200 damage, 230 with a choice band. I don't see why people aren't seeing that, why they're not playing it. It's so good, so good. Like I said, it has 4 different facets of it that are just amazing. And it pairs really nicely with Decidueye GX, which we're going to talk about. We've been through this card 100 times. Has Feather Arrows, the main thing, the ability, excuse me, allows you to snipe an opponent for 20 damage, which of course, like I said, pairs nicely with Glaceon. Set up some devolve plays, set up just some big knockouts to hit the right numbers. and everything works nice and good together. Then you do have the attack. Razor Leaf for a grass and a DCE does 90 damage. Not the best attack compared to Glaceon's where you get to snipe for an extra 30, but we could still use this attack if we needed to, if we're up against something that's weak against grass, or we don't want Glaceon out there getting attacked because Glaceon may be weak to whatever's out there, which Glaceon is weak to metal, something to note, and metal is out like crazy right now. But I was able to actually beat a Metagross deck earlier just because Glaceon was able to shut down the abilities. So something to keep in mind. I mean, shutting down the abilities makes a huge difference. And then of course we have the GX attack, Hollow Hunt GX, put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Normally not the GX attack you want to use, but in my testing, I actually had 2 today, used Hollow Hunt GX, and it was able to win me the game within the following 2 turns. So don't discount that GX attack, definitely keep it in your back pocket. Then we do have one Espeon EX. This of course we play for the Miraculous Shine, devolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon and put the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand. This was a card, if you go back and watch the original video about this list, this was one card that I mentioned. I'm not so sure that it's really that good in this list, because in all the testing I'd done up to that point, I never once used it. I was taking big knockouts with Glaceon. I had no need for Espeon to come out there. But I was actually playtesting, let's see, what's today? Today's Friday. It was Wednesday. I was playtesting with my friend Matt, and I was down, I think it was like 5-1. I mean, just insanely bad. And I actually managed to come back and win because I used Espeon so much to devolve things down, to slow him down. It was taking a knockout here or there, and really taking away his main attacker was the key. So I've chosen from that point, Espeon is staying in this list. It helps you whenever everything else fails. So really solid inclusion. Then we do have 2, whoop, come on. There we go. And then we have 2 Tapu Lele GX, has that Wonder Tag ability to get whatever supporter we need. Plus Energy Drive is not a bad attack as well. So we do play 2 of those. Moving on to the items. So as far as evolution, originally I had this, the Evosoda rare candy count at, it was like 2 or 3 rare candy and 2 or 3 Evosoda. I've now switched that to 4 rare candy and 1 Evosoda. It just made more sense this way, because really the Evosoda, we don't need it for Glaceon per se, because you're going to use water energy to make that happen. You need the Evosoda for like a Dartrix into a Decidueye, but you're not going to need it that often because you play the rare candy, so you can just skip Dartrix. So that's why we play that count. It's worked fairly well for me up to this point, and yeah, in my opinion, that's a solid inclusion. Then we have 1 Field Blower. I originally had this at 2. I did cut it down to get that 4th EV in there, and I cut something else down as well to up my energy count, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. This is really just for the lone Garbodor deck you come up against, which I've come up against it, having my ability shut down. Really didn't matter. By the time they got them set up, it was kind of too late to do anything. It just kind of shut me down for a turn or 2, and it was all because Glaceon was able to shut down their Lele's and everything early on, so they couldn't do anything. Then we do have 4 Ultra Ball. This of course is just a search for any of our Pokemon. Maybe we need a Decidueye and we have a rare candy in hand, we can make that happen, or just to get our Lele's out. Then for supporters, we have 2 Brigettes. We want to make sure that we're getting our Rowlets out. That's key. A lot of times, if we start the game with 1 Eevee, just Brigette for 3 Rowlet, depending on what you're playing against, obviously. If you're playing against a big, hard-hitting, fast basic deck, I would not suggest keeping 1 Eevee. I would go for 2. But if it's an evolution deck, you're safe with 1. Nothing's going to happen. But another thing to consider is you're probably still always safe with 1, because you're probably going to have your water energy to evolve into Glaceon. So it's not going to be an Eevee. You're going to be dealing with a Glaceon, so you're much safer. So I say all that to say this, your main goal is to, once you have your 1 Eevee, get 3 Rowlets out, because you're going to get 3 Decidueye that way, and you're going to be just rolling really nicely. Next, we do have 4 Cynthia, and again, shout out to my friend Matt. He's actually hooked me up with 3 of these. I was a little short for recording and asked to borrow some, so he has hooked me up. But this is a new card from Ultra Prism as well. Very popular card. If you haven't yet, make sure you get your playset online and in person. If you want to get more, that's fine, but at least make sure you have your playset because you will play this in pretty much every deck. So anyway, what you do is you shuffle your hand into your deck and you draw 6 cards. And I know some of you are thinking of Shauna, shuffle your hand and draw 5. Why not Shauna? Why do we never play Shauna, but now we're playing Cynthia? I mean, 6 is more than 5. I forget there was Sam Chen, that's who it was, on Twitter. He was talking about how, you know, people are comparing Shauna to Cynthia, and whenever he responds to them, he does, was it the count from Sesame Street? Says 6 is better than 5. 6 is better than 5. I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but one more card makes a huge difference in this game. We play N, and you know, we get 6 with that, and that is critical. And if we've taken any prizes, it kind of hurts. I mean, I don't know what else more you want. 6 is just better than 5. It does so much better than Shauna did, and we've seen this work before with Professor Oak's new theory. It's the exact same card, just a different name. We've seen it work, so we're hoping it can do that again. Then we are looking at 3 Guzma. What I love about Decidueye decks is the sniping. So we're very, very capable of bringing something to the active, stalling it there, and just sniping their bench, doing what we need to do. Or pulling up a big solid Pokemon that we want to take a knockout with. And in this deck, we are more than capable of doing that. Typically, Decidueye lists, you're having to snipe a little and devolve, or really kind of poke and build up to a big knockout. But in this list with Glaceon, you're able to take at least one big one-shot. And so we'll use Guzma to make that happen, and then again we can 2-shot everything else. So I mean, this is much different than any Decidueye list that we have seen before. Moving on to our other draw supporters. Originally we did have 4N, but I have bumped it down to 3 to make room for that extra energy. I think that's appropriate. We had 10 draw supporters. I think 9 is still very, very good. We're not going to be short there. So we do have 4 Cynthia, 3 N, and then just 2 Sycamore. We really, really want to conserve our items in this deck and all of our resources. I could very easily see this becoming a 4-4-1 count with just 1 Sycamore, but I think 2 is okay now. We really only want to use it whenever we have like a Brigette in our hand and we already have our bench set up. You know, we don't need it, but you got to be very, very careful using your Sycamores. You're going to save those for whenever you have a low hand size and you can afford to get rid of something. Next, for tools, we just run 3 choice band. That's to make sure we hit the right numbers with Glaceon. 90 and 120, there's a big difference there. 120, you're pretty much one-shotting everything in the field. 90, you're just getting the big, or not one-shotting, 2-shotting, sorry. With 90, you're just getting the basics, and even then, not all of them. So that's why we do play those choice bands. And then for our energy count, we have 4 DCE. Of course, this goes, you know, with Glaceon's attacks, or Decidueye, or even Lele. So we do play 4 of those. 7 water energy. This is to make sure we get our Glaceons up and running as fast as possible. And then, of course, Glaceon's attack requires water energy. And then this is a card that everyone's saying they're not any good. You know, these unit energies aren't any good. And I could see that if I was, you know, looking at it from their perspective. Because originally when these came out, everyone was like, well, we just have nothing that they would go with. Like, nothing pairs together with those typings. And to which I have to say, just get creative and make a combo. Think of that deck that you want to put these 2 awesome Pokemon together, but you haven't been able to in the past because it doesn't work that well. And I know there's Rainbow Energy and things like that, but Unit Energy is so good. You get to, you don't have to take damage from it, and it is very specific, but it's been a really, really good card in this list. It allows me to use my Decidueye's attack in the spots I need to, and that's why I only run 2, because most of the time I won't need to. It just depends on the matchup and the situation I'm in, and then of course it can also work on Glaceon as well. So it's very versatile. I think it's a great card, and again, if you pull it, don't discard it, because you're going to find that deck that you would normally run Rainbow Energy in, but it's going to have this typing combo, and so you won't have to use Rainbow Energy, you'll use this instead. Alright, so that is the list. Now what we are going to do is we are going to hop onto the Versus ladder, try to grab a couple games with this, and see if we can't show this off and show you how good this list actually is. Like I said, we've had a lot of hype for this list, people wanting us to do some matches with it, and I'm sorry we had to wait this long, but I think it will be worth the wait. So we're looking at a Psychic Electric deck. I have no idea what to expect. I have to be honest, guys, I haven't been on PTCGO in a long time. I haven't recorded any PTCGO in a long time, so that's why I haven't been on here very much. I've been doing a lot of IRL testing with the new set, and it has been a ton of fun doing that. I'm gonna hold on. Let's see. No, we go second. I should probably put it down just to be safe. Yeah, I've been having a ton of fun testing the new set that's coming out. We've done testing with this list. We've done the Dustmane Necrozma with Magnezone. Is this Alakazam? Is that what I saw? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, we did the Dustmane. We've done Garchomp Lucario, which I do plan on recording that list as well. If you haven't seen that list, be sure to check it out. And man, there we go. We get our water energy. That's awesome. Alright. So this first turn. Ah, dude, come on. If he hadn't ended us, we would have had an awesome hand. We had an awesome first two turns had he not ended us. But that's fine. We'll see what we can get here. Kind of get almost the exact same thing. So we're gonna Lele, Brigette, get 3 Rowlets out. We're gonna use our water energy to get our Glaceon, and then we'll be rolling. The only downside to this hand compared to the last one is obviously we won't have the rare candy Decidueye turn 2, but also we don't have a supporter for the next turn. But I think we'll be okay because we at least have what we need to get our main attacker up and running, and with that we should be able to start taking some solid knockouts, shut down their abilities, and make some things happen. So he's probably going to get a couple Alakazam EXs. He's taking his time. Or she, sorry. Yep, there they are. Okay, I can't remember. Does Alakazam have the ability where you can just evolve straight away? Oh no, this is when you add damage counters. Okay. Good thing is we get to shut down that ability. Oh, and they have a Cynthia, or we have a Cynthia. Should I just use that instead? No, that's getting too greedy. We're gonna have our 2 turns. Let's see what we got in our deck. All right, cool. We got 3 Rowlets. That's good. Short 1 rare candy. Short 1 Cynthia. Short 1 N. Short 1 Guzma. Not bad on pretty much anything else though. Got decent counts of everything. Alright, so we're gonna get our Brigette. We're gonna do 3 Rowlets. Next turn we'll be able to Evosoda one of them. Be nice if we could top deck a Decidueye next turn too, because then we could use that rare candy. Alright. So their abilities are shut down, which is good. They can't put damage counters on us with Alakazam's ability. Next turn we're going to be able to start attacking with Glaceon and spreading some damage. I think we're in a good spot. Alright, we do get end. That's okay. I mean, we were going to shuffle our hand up anyway, but we really needed that DCE. But we still have a good chance of drawing back into it. All 4 of them are in there, and we miss it. That's okay. We got 2 other energies. It's just going to be a little slower setup, which is fine. I could Sycamore everything away, but I think that's just a bad play. That's getting greedy. Gotta make your move. This is one thing I don't like about PTCGO is some people just like take too much time to make their move. And they already know what they're gonna do. Alright, so we get a Cynthia. Maybe I just use Cynthia. I think I do that. Try to hit the DCE, and if I don't, I haven't lost anything. Alright, we still get water energy, that's fine. We get a Dartrix, that's good news. So we'll just slow roll it. Our Eevee on the bench is probably going to get knocked out unless, unless we get a Glaceon this next turn. I'm not going to worry about it too much, I just need to get that Glaceon going. And we'll be in good shape. These guys have 180, right? No, 160. Oh, that's right. There's 170. There's some old EXs with the weak HPs. She is just thinking through every single thing. Alright, there we go, Guzma. So what are they gonna bring up? The Rowlet. That really kinda sucks. Probably, yeah, he's gonna bring Hoopa up and just snipe Rowlet and Eevee and try to poke them. I'd really like to get, let me think here. I think I need to just attach energy retreats to no. I'm going to do this. I'm not worried about that. Need to get a Decidueye up and running so we can start sniping a bit. And we have an empty hand to Sycamore. Probably a little greedy dumping Field Blower, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. So 2 snipes and a hit from Glaceon will do it on that guy. So we'll have to next turn. Okay, sweet. Here we go. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll involve the active, keep him a little bit stronger. Sorry about the clicking there, guys. Lost my mouse for a second, so I need to get it back, and you won't hear that so much. So yeah, so next turn we're going to need to retreat the Dartrix first, then evolve it to Decidueye, put Glaceon in the active, use an N, we'll be able to knock out the Hoopa and do 20 damage elsewhere, which is good, plus the 30 from the snipe. I'm really hoping he doesn't get to evolve, because if he does, he's going to be placing damage counters. He's going to take down Eevee, I bet, which would make sense. I mean, can't blame him. Her, sorry. Okay, sweet. He didn't get to evolve. Eevee's still going down, unless he chooses not to hit Eevee, which, okay, I'll say I don't know why he wouldn't. Why she wouldn't. Alright, here we go, we're going to start doing things. And of course I get the Glaceon after he gets knocked out. It's all good. So now we evolve. And now's a really good time to end because they have, what, 8 cards? Yeah, 8 cards in their hand. We're going to have to end them out of that. There's the DCEs. Let's see. We can dump these 2 as much as I hate to do it. Oh no, dang it, that was stupid. I guess we'll grab an Eevee. I was gonna grab a Dartrix, but forgot we only run 2 and they're already out here. We'll hold that because we don't need it yet. So we're going to hit the active. And then we'll hit this Alakazam with energy. And we will knock out the active, and we'll actually hit the Hoopa, because then it's in range of the GX. This guy we can hit one more time with a with the Decidueye, excuse me, Choice Band the active Glaceon and knock it out. So we don't need to put more damage on him. So we're actually in a really, really good spot. 2 knockouts set up, and there's really no way for our opponent. I mean, there's a way for our opponent to see that, but at first glance, that does not look like two knockouts are set up. And he doesn't know, or she doesn't know, that we have a Choice Band. So as far as they know, we have like 1 knockout set up. So unless she evolves the active, okay, but she's not going to. Sweet. Alright, so we'll set up a Decidueye to attack just in case. We'll use Cynthia. Great card. And cool, we have another Choice Band just in case. So we're hitting this for 20, so 40. 120 from Glaceon is going to knock it out. So we'll poke this guy back here. And we'll hit this Alakazam. So now we got a little bit of everything spread. And we took out the active. Alright, good. So we have a rare candy to use with Decidueye. And they have no energy set up right now, which I'm really surprised. I've seen 3 energy, that's 4 energy now from them. Oh, and a DCE. Still, seems like they're having a rough time with that. And they use their own Cynthia. So, what you'll notice, and what has actually happened a lot whenever I play this list, is you usually use like 1 Glaceon. That's it. Maybe 2 at most, but a lot of times you're just going to use 1 Glaceon. You're going to be able to take all your necessary knockouts with Glaceon and with your Decidueye. I don't know how else to explain it except that they work really, really well together. You don't have to struggle to make things happen. You stay pretty well protected just because of the ability lock. So yeah, really, really happy with this. Let's see, what do you have? 80 left over. Alright, so snipe the active, same as before. And I guess we'll just hit this guy twice because the Hoopa's already set up to be knocked out. And we just have to take one of those 2 along with this guy. We'll just hit this guy back here. And we're going down to 1 prize. Just as we planned. Alright, so there's another Glaceon, not a big deal. Sometimes it's good to have a backup one because, I mean, there are chances that your active could be knocked out, of course. Just doesn't happen that often. Alright, so he's going to do a ton of damage to me. Which is fine, because we have Decidueye set up, and it will be game. And I'm not going to have to Feather Arrow. I can just Razor Leaf for 120, right? Yeah, 120. And he has 100 left over, so we're just going to do that. And that's game. Nice and easy. I mean, it wasn't exactly a meta matchup there with Alakazam or Mega Alakazam. Not really a matchup you see too much of, but that is fine. We still take those. You can tell it's been a while since I've been on here because I'm still on the first chunk of the ladder. I don't know when they switched it. Maybe as soon as they put the new packs on, but I have not played it in a while. We're going to grab one more game with this. Hopefully it's something a little bit more meta. Water Psychic. This could be the new Empoleon. I know some people are hyping that up. I'm not really a fan. I haven't tested it, but I've seen it in action, and it's just meh. And I don't like decks where my opponent gets to control what I do. So this is a good opening hand. I could hold the hand and use the rare candy Decidueye next turn, but I don't know if that's what I want to do. I'd love it if I top decked. Okay, that's good. Nah, it's not really as good as I want it to be though, because I'd have to dump 2 really good things to make it happen. I was gonna say I could get a Lele to get a Brigette. Let me see what we got in here. Oh boy, we prized 2 Decidueye, so we really don't want to Ultra Ball that away. And we prized a rare candy, so that's 3 of them. Prize of Cynthia's 4. Prize of DCE is 5, and a Unit Energy is 6. Alright. I about hit done without evolving. That would have been bad. Okay, so do I hold this hand? I'm gonna hold it. They can't use their Lele this turn, so we should be in a good spot. It looks like it's just a Ninetales stack. Or you know what? You know what it probably is? I've also heard people talking about Ninetales Glaceon. Which, if I'm being honest, I think that's a really bad idea. I would just as soon just have Glaceon, if I'm being honest. Okay, and that's fine. We didn't have to use our Cynthia. I know we easily could have, but we didn't need to. And I feel like it's better to set up my bench while I had the chance. Oh, it's decent. I could Brigette, get my other 2 Rowlets out. Hold the Eevees for now. I really love to top deck a DCE though. I can take a knockout and set up another. See a Beacon. He's probably going to grab some Ninetales. Or a Ninetales and an Octillery. That's probably what he's going to go for. Yep. And it's, of course, the baby one, which is fine. Decidueye gets around that. Alright, so we just have water energy. Going to have to do that. Do this. Might as well use the Brigette, set the rest up. Oh, no. I'm actually not going to put down an Eevee. I'm just going to do those for now. I want to leave that empty space for a Tapu Lele, just in case we need it. I've been screwed too many times by not having that empty bench space. And as I mentioned before, Glaceon should last for a little bit. You know what, I just realized, I think, did they grab an Octillery or a Remoraid? I think they grabbed a Remoraid, not an Octillery, which is interesting. It means they probably don't have the Octillery or they would have grabbed it, right? That would only make sense. Okay, there it is, never mind. So maybe they just grabbed a second to set it up knowing they had the Ultra Ball. Oh wow, empty hand. That's the way to do it. Okay, don't see that card often. So they get themselves a Kukui. Been seeing a lot of people play with their gold cards today. A lot of people. Alright, so now they get their GX out there. So we can see how this goes against a Ninetales. Excuse me. Just gonna go for for those 2 cards. See what he can get. Aqua Patch, of course. So he's going to be able to use his Ninetales GX. So I would really, really love to find an energy right about now. That would be just about the best thing that can happen to us. It is not looking good. Alright, and that's actually good for us. Love some rare candy Decidueye, and I can knock this thing out. So we got energy. We do have rare candy and Ultra Ball. Just sucks because we are going to have to get rid of some good stuff. I'm going to have to hold on to that. Frost Bullet, hit the artillery. What I'll probably end up doing this next turn is searching for an EV, using water energy to evolve it, of course, and then we'll Cynthia and dig through. Hate to do it that way, but we are actually having not the best time against this Ninetales right now. But we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Alright, Ice Path GX, of course, gets rid of all the damage. Forgot about that. Shows you how long it's been since I've been on here. Oh, man. Do I dump 2 rare candy? I think I dump a DCE and a rare candy. As much as I hate to do that. Start getting this set up. So much for only going through 1 Glaceon. Oh, Cynthia. And we'll see what we can get. Ugh. Missing the rare candy. Okay. So, depending on what we top deck, we're going to have to probably Cynthia is what I would say. Actually, N would not be bad. In fact, N would probably be the better option here because we can shrink our opponent's hand big time, which would really help us. Alright, so he's not going to straight up knock out our Rowlet. He's going to go for our Glaceon, which makes sense. Cannot blame him for that. I'm not going to use the unit energy. Shrink up his hand. Get the DCE, that's good. Evosoda the active. Alright, click done. Next turn we'll be able to take, I can Guzma something, knock out one of the little basics and snipe something else, and then afterwards Glaceon's gonna be knocked out, so that really sucks. So I feel like we actually don't want to do that. I feel like we need to get 2 Decidueye up and running, because if we can get 2 Decidueye and get Glaceon in the active, we can snipe twice with Decidueye and then take the knockout with our GX attack, which I think would definitely be worthwhile, and then he'd be shut down a little bit. So now he's going to be able to start chaining knockouts though with Ninetales, which really, really sucks. Prizing those 2 Decidueye and a rare candy really, really hurt us. put up. If I get a Decidueye, he's safe. If I don't, either way, something's getting knocked out. We're gonna have to Guzma. Just something. Try to draw into a decent prize. I know we're gonna get knocked out. At least snipe him. And we get a Decidueye. We're actually going to be able to get one out. I would be stunned if he didn't knock out Glaceon this turn. It would not make any sense not to. Building up so he can chain them, which makes sense. All he has to do is take down Glaceon and then one of these non-GX Pokemon. So, I mean, IRL, this is the place to scoop, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna scoop it up. They get that one for sure. All right. Well, Ninetales is not a good matchup apparently. Need to test that one out a little bit more, see what's going on there. But yeah, so for now, guys, I hope that this is kind of giving you an idea of how the deck works. I still hold that it's a good deck. I'm going to try to look for little tweaks that I could make to it. I'm just not sure. I've looked at it a lot, I've played it a lot, and so far there hasn't been anything I've been unhappy with. But I may make some changes in the future. Who knows, maybe add in a tech Pokemon here or there. But yeah, so take the list, enjoy it. Like I said, there's still that other list video of this. You can go check that out. It has it's IRL cards, just not super great camera quality, just to be honest. But yeah, so this was the PTCGO version of that. And like I said, we're gonna be trying to get some more videos out. We're gonna do the guard chomp. Gonna actually try out a lowland Dugtrio. I'm really looking forward to that one. But yeah, so as usual, if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like for us. It really helps us out. And then as usual, if you are new to the channel, or maybe you just haven't completely bought into it yet, be sure to hit that sub button. We would really appreciate that. We actually this past week we got past 100 subs, so thank you so much to all of our subscribers. We really appreciate that. We're looking forward to hundreds more joining us, and just really excited for the future with the videos. So guys, as usual, I have been Jordan with the Deck Box, where we want to know what's in your box. Have a great night, guys.